Hi class, this is your instructor Megan McNames, and this is the introductory video for iCom 211 Digital Interactivity Design. First, I want to talk a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to move on to the course and what you're going to be doing in the course. Again, my name is Megan McNames. You can call me Megan, that's fine. I'm an instructor of journalism and digital media here at Ball State. So I teach a variety of classes that sort of all circle around user-centered design and different types of design that you might undertake in the digital world. I even do some print design. My background is actually in journalism, so I started out as a photographer and then I did some writing and reporting for a while, and I was very lucky to get into the design space at the time that I did, and I was able to work for a group that did experimental designs for interactive purposes, interactive television, which is not really big in the United States, but it's huge in England, where the BBC is funded by citizens. They have a ton of money, so they can make interactive TV and give everyone the same remotes that have the same buttons that do the same things. It's really cool. Tablet apps, mobile apps, things like that. That's my jam. That's what I do. That's what I like to do. And so this class is kind of the thing that I like to do, make interactive stuff. In addition to teaching in the digital media minor and journalism program, I also am assistant director of the Digital Publishing Studio along with Jennifer George Palalonis, and there's a link to that in the syllabus. At the top of the syllabus, there's a bunch of little icons. Those are clickable. The one that says DPS, if you click on it, it will take you to the Digital Publishing Studio, which I think some of you in this class are part of the Digital Publishing Studio. For those of you who don't know, the Digital Publishing Studio is this awesome group of students who are ridiculously talented, who make digital tablet publications for real clients, including the Ball State Athletics Department, the Children's Museum of Indianapolis, the state legislature, Travel Indiana, just lots of great organizations here in Indiana, and they work in the interactive space. So that is probably enough about me, but that's one of my favorite things to do. Oh, one more thing to add. I have been horribly sick the last few days. I'm actually surprised that I'm upright right now. I think that my new best friend, Red Gatorade, has a lot to do with it, because this is what I've been living off of the last few days. As a result, I'm a tiny bit behind on classes, which I apologize profusely for. Typically, at the beginning of the semester, everything's ready to go. At midnight, you get an email kicked out to you from Blackboard with the course introduction and your first assignments for the week. None of that got done last week because I was feeling like I was dying, and I kept thinking that I would get better and I would have time to do it, and I didn't get better until I woke up today. But my goal is to get all of that rectified by the end of the day today, starting with this introduction video. So I apologize, but everything will be on Blackboard by the end of the day tonight, so that you'll be able to get everything done this week. It's Monday, by the way, for those of you who are watching this not the day I sent it. But I apologize profusely for that. I know it's confusing. It's like you have an online class and you open it up and things are kind of weird. So I'm really sorry. I just kept thinking I'll still have time once I get better before class starts, and I didn't get any better until today. Let's talk about the course. This course explores the relationship between interactivity, interface design, and communication. So the first week, we're going to figure out what is interactivity. What do we mean when we talk about interactivity? What makes something interactive and something else not interactive? That's what we're going to look at. You have an individual design project that you're going to complete along with some collaboration with your classmates. You're going to have workshops where you show your ideas and get feedback on your ideas so that you can understand what it's like to design for interactivity. So you're going to learn a lot of interactivity theory, but then you're going to apply that to a project. Learning documents, meetings and workshops, case studies, midterm, final project, and review. That's what the course consists of. Let's talk about each one. So the learning documents, those of you who've had classes with me or Brad King, the director of the minor, before, you know what these are. Same thing, no change. Same kind of learning document you always write. These are written assignments that use citations from every lecture video and reading from the week, where you sort of figure out what all of the stuff I gave you has to do with each other. And then you explain what you read, figure out how it applies to you. Expect these to take longer than you think. The hardest part about these assignments is not writing them, it's thinking. It's just sitting down and figuring out, okay, what does this reading have to do with this reading? Because it's not always going to be immediately clear. The readings don't reference each other. You have to figure out what they have to do with each other. You'll spend probably more time thinking about what to put in your learning document than you will typing it out. So those of you who are looking at this going, a written assignment, that can't be so bad. It's a thinking assignment, and writing is how you tell me what you're thinking. So these are going to take you a significant amount of time. For those of you who have not had a class like this before and you're going, I don't know what a learning document is, click on the syllabus and instructions tab on Blackboard, and there's instructions and an example in there. You also have case studies. So each week, in addition to a learning document, you'll have a brief case study where you're going to look at an interactive design and take the theory you learned and tell me how it applies to what interactive design you're looking at. You don't have one the first week, but you have them starting in week 2. I'll always give you a list of interactives to choose from. So I might give you 5 to 10 different interactives. You'll go through them, sort of pick one that's interesting to you, and then you'll answer some questions about them. So each week I'll give you the list and the questions. These are not worth that many points because they shouldn't take you very long, and I would suggest that you do them after the learning document. That way it'll be a breeze. You'll know what you're talking about. It'll be a lot easier to figure out how to answer the questions. These are not huge assignments. They're not meant to be these sort of giant case studies that are 30 pages long. It's meant to be like a page and a half of here's what I looked at, here's what it has to do with what we read. Group meetings and workshops. So you will be required to attend Google Plus Hangout meetings, which means I need your Gmail address. You will send me your Gmail address in the Gmail survey you take this week. You're going to sign up for these at least a week in advance, which means you give me your schedule when you're available. I'll have a scheduler that asks you, gives you potential times. You'll say when you're free, and I'll find other people who are free at the same time as you to have a meeting with. So these are not things like, oh, Monday at 7 is the group meeting. Every week. No. They're really changing all the time. You'll have different people in your group, different times. But we do it that way because then it's convenient for you. If you work late or you work early or you have 10 classes and a full-time job, we'll be able to find time for you to meet with a group. Okay, software tutorials. The difficult part about designing for interactivity is ubiquitous. There's so many things that are interactive. In fact, interactivity doesn't have to be digital. Having a conversation in class is interaction. So the difficulty in teaching a digital interactivity class then is that there's about 2,000 options for software to teach you to make something that's interactive. In fact, I could not even teach you software. I could teach you JavaScript, and you could make some interactive things with JavaScript. We don't have time for that, but if we did, that would be an option. So based on the amount of time that we have for you to learn a piece of software that creates interactives, and your own familiarity with the average student familiarity with computers and software, I've chosen to use InDesign. So we're going to complete 2 InDesign tutorial assignments, and that's going to help you understand the InDesign workspace, its capabilities, and how to use it. You'll use InDesign to create a design project. So you'll apply the theories and techniques you learn in the class to a project that you're going to conceptualize yourself. So it's not as simple as me saying you need to make an interactive learning space for kindergartners to learn about dinosaurs. That actually would be really cool, but I'm not going to tell you that's what you have to do. You're going to come up with your own idea for what you want to make that's interactive and what its purpose is. And then you're going to design it with some help from your classmates at the workshops. This project starts in week 12, but you actually start conceptualizing as early as week 10. Your grade for this project is going to be assessed based on your participation and contributions to your group workshops, your ability to meet benchmarks for progress. So I need you to turn in an idea by a certain date. I need you to turn in wireframes by a certain date. And a final presentation in which you can assess what you wanted to do, how you tried to do it, what worked and what didn't work, and what you learned about interactives based on your experimental project. How do you get InDesign? Click on Adobe Software on Blackboard. There's a tab that says Adobe Software. Click on it. It has links to get the software. I really highly suggest that if you don't have InDesign already and you're off campus, You download the trial the week that you need InDesign, and then when the trial expires, like 2 days before it expires, pay the $30 to rent it for 1 month. And then the class will end. And then when they ask you for the second month, just cancel if you don't want to continue with InDesign. This is going to be the cheapest option for you. Those of you who are on campus, the cheapest option is to use the labs. You also need Blackboard, Google Drive or Docs, and a Gmail account, which I mentioned before. You'll send that to me in your survey. Really quickly, I just want to make the time commitment clear. I don't think Ball State does a very good job of explaining the time commitment for online classes. On and off-campus classes are supposed to each take you about 9 hours a week to complete the assignments. With an on-campus class, you would be in class for about 3 hours, and then you would have 6 hours of homework. So if you have an hour and 15 minutes of class on Tuesday, you're expected to do 3 hours of homework for Thursday, then you have an hour and a half of class, or an hour and 15 minutes here at Ball State of class, and then you're supposed to do 3 more hours of homework, minimum. So for an online class, the in-class time just becomes more homework time, more watching lectures and reading. So you should expect to spend a significant amount of time on this class. In the beginning of the class, a lot of that time is going to be spent viewing lectures, reading, writing. For the end of the class, you're going to be designing. Everything you need to know for what's due is on the syllabus and also explained in each weekly assignment folder. If you're new to online classes, I would suggest clicking the Online Learning Skills tab I've put on Blackboard. It takes you to a playlist of videos I've made with helpful tips for using Blackboard, like how to look at your course calendar, how to look at assignment rubrics before an assignment is due so you can see how you're going to be graded, and how to speed up or slow down videos. Yes, I know I talk a lot. You can speed me up. If I talk too fast, I also talk fast. You can slow me down. So I don't care if you do either of those things. It's none of my business. I prefer to watch videos in double time. Watching educational videos bores me. Even though I like the materials, there's just something about it, I can be interested in the topic, but the video bores me, so I always put my videos in 1.5 time, and somehow it just magically makes me interested. The same might be true for you, so I would suggest sort of trying to speed up or slow down videos and see what works for you. I do have an office on Ball State's campus. Virtual and in-person office hours are from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wednesdays and Thursdays. I'll be on Skype at that time. I'll be on GChat at that time. I'll have my email open at that time. You can stop by my office. You can message me. My phone number's in the syllabus. You can call or text me during those hours. And you also can schedule a meeting outside of those hours by clicking on the Schedule a Meeting tab in Blackboard. I don't care how you email me. I don't care where you email me. Anything. I'm the only Meg McNames there is in this country. Google me, and the email address will probably be mine. So please allow 24 hours for me to respond to your email. I'll usually respond sooner, but there's just times where I can't get back that quickly. If you don't get a response in 24 hours, please assume I didn't get your email. I've had some problems in the past where if you email me through Blackboard and then you email me again through Blackboard, it adds the second email you sent me onto the first one, and it doesn't look like a new email in my system. It looks like the old email is just sitting there. So if you don't get a response in 24 hours, resend your email. I'm not ignoring you. I just probably didn't get or somehow missed your email. Assignments are due at noon on Sundays. Blackboard closes the assignment at noon. It's not me. The computer does it. So just be aware of that, because if you have just a few minutes left to get something turned in, you're really cutting it close. Your clock on your computer or phone might be different than the one Blackboard is using by a minute or two, and you also might need some time to upload materials, to find the uploader. So right at noon, according to Blackboard time, Blackboard will shut the assignment down, and that's it. I don't accept assignments through email because I get too many emails and I lose things that way. So just be aware of that. This week, you're going to look at interactivity, and you're going to sort of arrive at a definition of interactivity. So what is interactivity? How might we define it? Why is it important? What kinds of things might we use it for? What do you need to know about it? And then starting next week, we're going to look at interactivity through different lenses. So next week, we're going to look at interactivity in storytelling. You have a learning document due this week. Again, you do have the chance to revise it as long as you complete it the first time. I don't accept revisions on learning documents that have not been completed. You can't revise something you never wrote in the first place. So you must turn a learning document in this week. But if it's not good, I'll tell you and I'll leave you feedback and you get the chance to revise it and your grade replaces the old one. So don't panic. Do your best. I'll let you know how you can improve. Take the Gmail survey and make me a little introduction video about yourself so I can meet you all and your classmates can meet you. That's this week. That's everything. I really look forward to working with you in this course. This kind of design is my favorite kind of design and the thing I'm most obsessed with. So I'm really excited to share my interest and love of these things with you. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions or concerns. I know that online courses are sometimes a little bit scary. So if you're new to the online world and you have questions about expectations or how you might do something or why is Blackboard so terrible, feel free to send them my way. Don't struggle needlessly. Just reach out and let me know. Ask and I'll be happy to help. I look forward to meeting all of you in your introduction videos.